Thanks for joining us, everyone. Welcome to our Balanced Life, Happy Life for October 3rd. We meet each and every Tuesday in order to talk about ideas, concepts, technologies, products that can help you to create an amazing life by using five distinct areas, five elements. Each week, we talk about one of those elements that help people to really supercharge their life so they can thrive and create a life filled with balance. Those five elements are air, water, sleep, nutrition, and natural energies, products, technologies that provided by Niken help to create what is known as a Niken wellness home. And this really is a fantastic opportunity to learn about these products. Tonight, we are going to be focusing on one of the most crucial areas for life. I heard somebody on Twitter, I guess now X, the other day saying, why does the body take 8 hours to do its business? Why can't it do it in 3? I don't know. Maybe Dr. Lindner, maybe Sherri will give us some input tonight on why we really do need that complete restful night's sleep. But we're going to be looking at the importance of sleep. And we have an amazing presenter, a very knowledgeable individual with us, Sherri Danzig. In Niken, she's a Team Kaizen Tai Chi member as well as a Diamond consultant. Sherri is a massage therapist. She is a doula. In addition to having her own 3 children, I don't know how many other children she's helped bring into the world. Maybe she could let us know, but she has a tremendous amount of knowledge about the area of health, wellness, and certainly the area of sleep. Sherri, are you with us this evening? We're excited to have you.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I lost track of how many, but a bunch, a bunch. So let me share my screen. Uh-oh, where is the share the screen, Jeff? It was there when we practiced a minute ago.
Should be at your Zoom bar.
I know. Phooey. I mean, if I do this, you can't see it, can you?
We're not
No?
seeing your presentation yet.
Okay. Okay. Huh. I wonder what is going on. Let me see here. It's not coming up, and it's never not come up. That's so weird. Rat's puppy.
You want to exit and come back and see if it,
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
have
I'll
to do
tell
that.
jokes.
Tell jokes. I'll be back.
I have really good jokes. I'll tell my favorite joke, Sherri.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay. So, did you hear the one about the television antennas that got married? Supposedly the wedding ceremony wasn't that great, but the reception was awesome. That's my favorite joke ever. That's my favorite joke ever. And I'm going to ask Leo Lemay, who is beaming in from Quebec. I'm going to ask Leo to help me tell it in French one of these days. Sherri is back with us now, and we'll see if she's able to share her screen appropriately. Sorry for that little technological.
Okay, let's see. I'm back. Yeah, must have been something about me pulling it up before. Okay, thanks for your patience, everyone. Okay, dokie. Here we go. All right, you can see it now, right?
Yes.
Outstanding. Okay, so we're going to talk about sleep. And as Jeff said, it is truly, I think it's the most important foundation of living a wellness lifestyle, of feeling good, of aging well, of living a long and vibrant life. So here we go. So, the benefits of sleeping well, well, they're enormous, but I always like to talk about this particular quote. Dr. Dement is the co founder of REM sleep. He's one of the earliest scientists studying sleep from many, many decades ago. And this quote has held up all of these years later, that it's the sleep is the most important, single most important determinant for predicting longevity. That means how long you'll live and how well you'll live. It's more important than diet, exercise, or heredity. So you got to keep that in mind. And it's come up before in classes I've done where people say, exercise or get sleep. If you're cutting it close, always choose sleep. It's important to exercise, it's important to eat well, but if you had to choose, it has to be sleep. And I hope that point gets driven in. So what are the functions of sleep? Well, they're still studying it, they're still kind of figuring it out, but we do know it's a time when our body is doing a lot of healing. And so what you brought up, Jeff, about what's the importance and can we get away with not sleeping very much, the answer is no. There's hard science that is showing that people that sleep too little, and we'll get into that in a few slides, that they are susceptible for so many different things that can make their bodies unwell. Their immune system takes an immediate hit. Your immune system takes an immediate hit after not sleeping 7 hours. Less than 6.5 hours and less is really going to make a difference. So the functions of sleep is to allow your body to do that kind of recovery, that rejuvenation. And as you see in the slide here, about 90% of your body's growth and restoration happens during sleep. So even though you feel like you're maybe not doing a whole lot, your body is actually doing a lot of important things. This slide shows what happens, what are the bad effects that happen when you don't get good sleep. And I think probably we could sit here and name all of them or many of them without even looking at the slide. We know people are irritable. They don't, their brains don't function. Their judgment is affected. Their ability, this is important, your ability to chronicle information and hold on to memory to learn new things is greatly affected by your sleep. So if you don't sleep well, you don't learn very well either. You're not as creative. And then you get into some really serious things, like you have behavior like somebody that has an attention challenge. As I already mentioned, your immune system can be functioning at 40 or 50% what it should be. So that's why you don't get good sleep. You're much more likely to get sick. And in this day and age, with the virus running around, that's not a small thing. So all sorts of things, it gets all the way to how it affects your heart and risk of really serious things. So sleep is no joke. It is truly something that you've got to focus in on. It's not just about getting good sleep, it's about getting enough good sleep. So this slide is showing that we know how important it is to not drive intoxicated, right? I don't have to tell you that. But did you know that if you're tired, that it really runs to the same kind of statistics of car accidents and fatalities with car accidents that is the same. So I like to say that if you understand the benefit of a designated driver for going to a party and having somebody that stays sober, you also want the person that's driving you home to have been well rested. Here we go with this chart. So roll down to adults at the bottom. 7 to 9 hours is how much sleep is considered necessary. And I can't tell you how many times I've had people come up to me after I've done a talk on sleep and say, oh, I get by with 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And I'm not here to argue with them, but I will tell you that over time, they may be fine for a while, but over time, it is taxing the body's ability to recover and your immune system. And it does come back and bite many people in the tush, so to speak. So you got to get that sleep, and you got to, and if you have teenagers or grandchildren that are teenagers, they need even more than that. So what might be disturbing your sleep? There's lots of things. Some things we can't really control. We can't control genetics, and maybe you need to be on a certain medication. Maybe you have a job that is night shift work. All of those things really do disturb sleep. But we're going to talk about solutions at the end of this, and Niken really does have great solutions to affect the environment that you sleep in, the amount of stress that you have, and how your body can be supported to de-stress, And also up here, it's talking about like physical challenges that cause discomfort. So that and it's all of those things can be addressed by the solutions that we're going to get to at the end. That's the fun part. So let's jump into some tips for better sleep. So there's lots of things that you can do. And the first thing I suggest that you do is if you're having challenges, you really want to improve your sleep, is to get a sleep journal so that you start paying attention to what is going on with your sleep. If you didn't sleep well a particular night, to think back of what you were doing the night before. If you did sleep really well, think about what you did the night and the day before. So that's something, is to start paying attention to it. You want to make sure that you have some consistency, and when you go to bed, your whole system is built on the rhythms of your body. And so our bodies are designed to start shutting down as the night goes on, as the day goes on. And unfortunately, because we live in this 24/7 world, you don't have to do that anymore. So taking lights out between 10 and 11 is optimal. I can tell you the truth, I don't do that, but I do my best to get to bed by midnight, because that that time between 10 and 1:30 is an optimal time for that deep restorative sleep. So pay attention, as I said, about your sleep. The sleep debt is talking about how tired you are. So if every time you sit down during the day, you sit still for a few minutes, you're nodding off, your sleep debt is pretty high. You want to sleep in a dark room, and we've got solutions for that with our Niken sleep mask. So you want to block out all of the light. If you can take some of the electronics out, that's great. You want a quiet environment. And so if your partner is over there making a lot of noise, you might look at, first of all, that's something to check out with a doctor, and also, to be sure there's not some sort of a condition. And perhaps some of our sleep technologies can support that. But you do want to have a quiet environment. I've had some people I've coached on sleep, and they actually had to move their bedroom to a different part of the house because where they were sleeping, their bedroom was just noisy and they couldn't do anything about street noises. So that's something perhaps you think about. Regular exercise is super important, but don't do anything really heavy duty 3 hours before, because that can disturb your sleep as well. You want to watch what you eat and drink, particularly close to bedtime. And I talked last time about myths, and some people think there's been a whole culture. My parents' generation, have a hot toddy, have some sort of like, sip on something, some sort of alcohol that will relax you. It might relax you, but the alcohol will interrupt your body's ability to go through the different stages and cycles of sleep. So you'll get less REM sleep if you're drinking alcohol right up until bedtime. So think about that. You want to sleep in a cool environment. You want to change your thermostat. So it's about 65 degrees is kind of considered ideal, no matter what time of year it is. And then, boy, do we have a solution for this. Sleep on a supportive and comfortable mattress or mattress topper. I'm going to skip over a few of these here. You can use essential oils. One of the last one here is about keeping your bedroom a sanctuary. So if you can not do projects, if you cannot have a TV in your room, if it can be the one place you go into your home, in your space in your home, where you are only there to feel good and to relax and to sleep well, that will serve you very well, to create an environment that feels like a sanctuary. So let's go into some benefits of sleeping well. I think you can probably guess. You feel better overall. As I talked about earlier, you're able to retain and learn information more easily. Your creative process is definitely like blown up, and you have better performance as an athlete, as just going around the house and not tripping on yourself, right? You perform better. They've done tests with student athletes, and they've done studies with people in cognitive type performance, and people always do better when they get a good night's sleep. So one of the things I had to learn, if I was working on a project and I would be staying up late to get it done, and then you're just not thinking, you're getting this loop of thoughts that isn't going anywhere. Better to go to bed and wake up the next morning refreshed. So again, this quote, I love this. When you put away your sleep debt, You become superhuman. You feel like superwoman or superman because you have that improved mental and physical capabilities that comes only really from being well rested. So let's get into the fun part. Let's talk about Niken's solutions. And we have many in the sleep department. So we have these technologies that are, well, I love what it says here, based on science and inspired by Mother Nature. So it's really about harnessing what Mother Nature gives us, that our bodies, it's natural to our bodies, and it's bringing that in these tangible technologies that you sleep on every day. So I've been a massage therapist for over 30 years. And I am hoping that everybody that's here or listening to this recording absolutely loves how it feels to get a massage. Well, imagine if you had these sleep products in your bedroom on your bed and you were able to then get a passive massage every night. That's really how these products operate. They mimic what it's like to get a passive massage and the kind of support that they create. So in the mattress topper, it's called the Nature Rest Fit, and I love that it's called Nature and Rest. And it's fit because it has fitted corners, so it fits on any size mattress that you sleep on. And as a matter of fact, if you have one person in your bed, but you sleep in a big bed, you can have you could get a twin size. You don't have to cover the whole bed. I have lots of people that have done that. And so you just simply put a mattress cover over the mattress topper and it'll stay in place. But that fit mattress topper, what it does is it gives you this cocooned feeling in this cocooned environment of harnessing the earth's energy. And Mother Nature is never wrong. So you're getting this very advanced magnetic surroundings that, again, is like passive massage. It's helping your body to be relaxed. It's helping your body to feel good. And it's helping your body to sleep deeply so you get that restorative sleep. The next thing I want to talk about is the comforter. The comforter, it comes in two different weights. You can have the regular weight and then a lighter weight. If you live in a more hot climate, or you don't run a lot of air conditioning, or you just run really hot, then you might want to have the lighter comforter. But I'm someone who I can't stand to be hot. My husband can't stand to be cold. So when we got this comforter and we could both be our temperatures being balanced under one comforter, that was like a huge thing. I've heard people call it this a marriage saver, the comforter, because of it regulating each person's body temperature so that these bioceramic fibers work. It's like smart fibers. And so they absorb or reflect the amount of heat energy or cooling energy that we need so our temperature is regulated. And that's a super important aspect of getting good sleep. If you have been aware that you wake up and you're kind of kicking the covers off, or you're cold and you're bringing it back on, your sleep cycle is getting interrupted from that. So it's your sleep temperature is very much supported because of the fibers in this comforter. So that's amazing. The pillow, and you see the picture of this is our newest pillow. We've got both pillows actually here, but over to the right is the newer Makura pillow. And that has a little bit more structure to it. But both of our pillows have the neck support. So you're getting the support under the neck, which and both of the pillows are customizable, which means because not everybody's neck is the same, right? Not everybody needs the same support in terms of, but it's based on the curvature of your neck. So you can customize the pillow to match what is right for you. Both of the pillows have the magnetic technology. And then there's a pillowcase that you put your pillow in that has the other technologies, the bioceramic fibers, and also what creates the negative ion technology. So you get all of this technology around your head so that your head temperature is slightly cooler, which science says we sleep better with that. And we also lose we're putting out a lot of heat as we sleep from our head. So a cooler environment is going to help to balance that. So the pillows are amazing. We love them. I remember back in the day when we had what we affectionately refer to as the brick. It was very, very firm. These pillows have been, I think they fit for just about everybody because of the they just, it's a home run. They've just created this perfect, wonderful pillow. I use both of them on my bed. I have so many products on my bed. It's almost laughable, but I sleep really well as a result. There's the Kinko ground. I sleep on that. That is creating the grounding effects from the earth that we get. And it's got a very long cord. So, from a practical standpoint, you can put it on your bed where you sleep and you can hook it up. It could go across the room. It doesn't matter. It is designed to help ground you so that it helps your body to release any stress and things that cause achiness. So, you are sleeping on top of and underneath these products that create this amazing sleep. There are times where it doesn't happen every night, but I literally lay on my back and I realize when I wake up, I haven't moved. I've been in the same position all night. The sleep mask. We call it something different now. What is it called? The wellness something. I forget what you call it, Jeff. It's got a new name. I'm still calling it the sleep mask. It is an amazing mask. I do tell my customers you may have a little bit of time that you need to adjust to it because it's got some weight to it. It's not a piece of cotton like many masks that you get, in the dollar store or something. This has some weight to it. It has all three of the technologies, and there's so many muscles and your sinuses. There's a lot going on in your head. So I know it helps to relax all of that, helps with your eyes. I think it just helps you to have a healthier face and head and all that's going on there. And for me, and I've heard this from lots of people, part of the reason sometimes people don't sleep well is because it's hard to shut their brain down. It's like, to stop all of the thoughts and all the ideas and things. And when I put that mask on, because of the weight, because of the feel of it, because of the technology, it just calms me down and it's telling me that it's time to go to bed. It's time to sleep. And I kind of skipped over this, but one of the tips is about creating a sleep ritual. And so this is part of my sleep ritual. I know where that sleep mask goes. It's always under my pillow. I pull it out, and that's the last thing I do before it's lights out, literally. And it is incredible. The last technology is the air purifier, and we do have Dr. Liliana Warner does a whole thing about our air filtration system, but we keep it in as a sleep product because it is fabulous to sleep with our air system going because it creates the best, cleanest, most relaxing air environment. And, that's pretty important when you're sleeping that you get rested. So those are all of our sleep products. I do want to share one quick story. I think I've got time. Um, I will tell you really quickly. I've said this before on these calls that for me, I was sleeping pretty well. I wasn't sleeping enough. I was one of those that was trying to trick time and run my life with my children and my business. And I would go to the grocery store at midnight oftentimes. And one night I came home. It was about 1 a.m. and I was tired and I couldn't get in my garage. So I hit what I thought was the brake to scoot into my garage. I had the emergency brake on. I ended up hitting the clutch and flew backwards and created a neighborhood fire because my car went flying backwards of a very steep driveway and hit the electrical box in our cul-de-sac. That was a wake-up call. The other story I wanted to share, and this just came up recent again, a reminder. I have a brother who's a medical doctor. He's a pain management doctor, as a matter of fact. And he has been along with the products, and then he's a doctor. He's a stubborn person sometimes. I don't want to say all doctors are one way or another. But he came back from a trip and he said, again, this is the second time he said that. When he travels, he sleeps in he goes to the best hotels, the best, of everything. He's just, first class traveler. And he came back the other day and he said, you know what? My back was killing me. And I got home, got in my own bed with all the stuff on the bed, the topper, the comforter, the pillow. And he said, I can't believe how well I sleep. And he forgets about it. And we often do forget about it when we're away from it. So that's kind of a good reminder. And so for him to say it, I'm like, yeah, I told you so. I didn't say that out loud. I just said it to myself. right? Because he wouldn't appreciate that. Anyhow, enough with that. Self-care is equals really good sleep. You can't take it away. That's it.
Sherri, thank you so much for giving us that fantastic information. I know we all love a good night's sleep, and the great thing about these products is they create an environment with the technologies that are incorporated into them to do exactly that, to provide the perfect environment for you to have an amazing night's sleep each and every night. So thank you so much, Sherri, for sharing that with us. We do meet every Tuesday at 5:30 Pacific, 6, 7, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Next week, we will be looking at this crucial component of nutrition. Very important part to creating an environment where you can truly thrive. And we'll be joined by Randy Rolfe, who is a newly published author. I say newly, she has a new book out. I think it's her 9th book. So, overachiever. Just kidding. She's brilliant. She's a brilliant, amazing woman. She has a PhD, law degrees, undergraduate degrees. I believe her undergraduate degree is in nutrition. But Randy Rolfe is going to be joining us, and she will have an amazing presentation for you next week on nutrition. So do join us. And maybe if we're lucky, she'll tell us a little bit about her latest book, her latest published work. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight for Balanced Life, Happy Life, and we look forward to seeing everybody next week.